Hello, welcome to Nelly's Storytime. My name is Alexis. I'm Nelly's mom. Good to see everyone. Sorry, I've been away for a long time. Life just got caught up with me. Anyway, I'm going to start out with the Fraggle Rock book. It's called The Cave of the Lost Fraggles by Michael Teitelbaum and pictures by Peter Elwell. The Cave of the Lost Fraggle. That Fraggles, her name is Red. I love the Fraggles. Last one in is a Gorg, shouted real Red Fraggle. And she raced along a path and leaped into the Fraggle pond. Last one in is one of Red's favorite games. My turn, said Gobo. Last one in is a stale doozer stick, he shouted. And he hit the water with a splash. Hey, Red, I think that one was even better than yours. It was not, said Red. It was two, said Gobo. Oh, yeah, said Red. Let's try it again. Fine with me, said Gobo. Ready, set, go. The two Fraggles ran down the path and jumped high into the air. Last one in is a slimy pond worm, screamed Red. Last one in is a silly creature, Gobo said at the same time. Kerplash! They both went in as they landed in the pond. There, said Gobo. That settles it. I'm better at this game than you are. I think Gobo's got you there, Red, said Wembley, who had been watching. What? Exclaimed Red. Well, maybe not, began Wembley. I mean, Red turned back to Gobo. Gobo Fraggle, she said, you are not better than me at anything. Oh, yeah, said Gobo, who was beginning to get a little angry himself. What about exploring? You've never ever been to outer space and... Red cut him off. Well, you're not such a hot-shot explorer, Gobo. You've never even explored the cave of the lost Fraggle. The Fraggles all gasped. No one had ever returned from exploring the cave of the lost Fraggle. Legend had it that the strange echoes in the cave were the voices of Fraggles who had lost their way trying to get out. Come on, Red, said Gobo. You know, that not even Uncle Matt would try to explore that terrible place. Well, I bet you I could do it, Red boasted. All right, Red Fraggle, Gobo said. You asked for it. I dare you to explore the cave of the lost Fraggle. Everyone gasped again. A Fraggle dare was never taken lightly. I accept, said Red, and she stormed away. Later that day, Red was in her room packing. All her friends were there too. Oh, Red, Moki said, please don't go. We'll never see you again, moaned Boober. Red, said Gobo, I wasn't really serious. This is silly. You should have thought about that before you dared me. No Fraggle has ever gone back on a dare, and Red Fraggle is not going to be the first. With that, Red took her pack and left the cave. Gobo looked at his friends helplessly. I should have never dared Red, he said, shaking his head. I hope she'll be okay. Although Red's journey took only half a day, it was not an easy one. She crossed the river of the raging rapids, the mountain of many mysteries, and the marsh of the mushy mushrooms. Finally, she arrived at the entrance to the cave of the lost Fraggle. She looked into the opening. It doesn't look so scary, she thought. It's just another cave. This will be easy. Red made her way along the twisting maze. She turned left and then right. She followed paths that led deep into the earth and then climbed back up again. Hours passed. This isn't so terrible, she thought. I am Red, the great explorer of caves, the first Fraggle ever to return from the cave of the lost Fraggle. After she had walked along a while, Red stopped in one of many rooms and opened her pack. The radishes that Moki had given her for lunch tasted delicious. As she chewed, she looked around. This place is boring, she thought. Every room looks the same. I think I've explored enough, she decided after she had finished eating. I guess I'll go home now. She stood up and looked around. That was when she realized something. She couldn't remember which way she had come. Every room did look the same. Red's tail started to sweat, and her heart began to pound. I have to go left. I'm sure I recognize that rock, she thought. Or is it right? That rock looks exactly the same. Oh, why did I accept that stupid dare in the first place? Red was hopelessly lost. Suddenly, Red heard a noise. Oh! It went. What's that? Red said out loud. Maybe it was the voice of a lost Fraggle. Red shivered. Would she become a lost Fraggle too, destined to wander the caves forever? Red heard another noise. This time it was definitely a voice. Hello! It said. It is the voices of the lost Fraggles, cried Red, now completely terrified. I'm doomed! Red grabbed her pack and was about to run when the voice called again. Red! It shouted. Oh no! Red thought. They already know my name! Red stopped short. Wait a minute, she thought. How can they know my name? And then she recognized the voice. Gobo! She cried out loud. It's Gobo! Gobo! I'm here! Stay where you are and keep talking. We'll get you out. Gobo's voice was faint but clear. Oh, Gobo, Red said sadly. It was really dumb of me to run off like that. I don't even know how it happened, and I never want to explore another cave again. I just want to go home. At that moment, Gobo appeared. And Gobo wasn't alone. Behind him were Wembley, Moki, and Boober. Boy, am I glad to see you, Red cried, hugging her good friends. How did you get here so fast? Actually, we left right after you did, Gobo said sheepishly. We were worried about you. Red, I never should have dared you in the first place. Dares aren't just dumb. They can make you do things that are dangerous. So let's get out of here, okay? But how are we going to get out? Red asked. Come on, said Gobo. I'll show you. Gobo took Red by the hand. Then he leaned hands with Wembley. Wembley took Moki's hand, and Moki took Boober's. Boober was already holding large Marvin's hand. Gobo had formed a chain of Fraggles that led to the entrance of the cave. Ready! He cried. Slowly the chain began to move, and in a little while, all the Fraggles were outside the cave again. Are we all here? Gobo asked. Everybody was. After all the Fraggles had congratulated Gobo and hugged Red, Gobo spoke up again. Okay, he said. Everybody back to the pond, and the last one in is a lost Fraggle. The Fraggles all laughed, especially Red. Then they all raced back to Fraggle Pond. The end.